Hello and a warm welcome back to the TNC podcast. Chris!
Cheers.
Quiet weekend, wasn't it? No Lakens. Can you tell it's been a busy weekend?
We're literally both on the green tea because it's been a
It's
long...
worth noting though, we almost felt sorry for Lakens with these discounts. It felt like we were defrauding them. The discount still applies, 20% off. Link in the description.
Mix 25, isn't it?
That ran out. That was for the.
Sorry,
that was for the weekend. One. In the description, 20% off Lakens. It would almost be rude not to.
Yeah, massive weekend for the football club.
Yeah,
massive weekend.
What happened?
A very emotional one. Well, we beat Brent. We finally won a game of football, Jack.
How is that not the main story?
I mean, it's yeah.
First win in like 20 Premier League games.
Yeah.
Over 20 Premier League games.
And that's not the biggest story.
It's almost forgotten about.
Bonkers. Yeah, it has been. But maybe that's a good thing?
Well, no, it's not, because, you know, I always say when I log on to work on a Monday morning, they're always like, Jackie, no mention of the win this morning.
It's all Daniel Farke, of course.
So, we'll get on to having beaten Brentford later on in the podcast, but things have to start with the news that Daniel Farke is no longer Norwich City's head coach. He was told a couple of hours after, or straight after, the Brentford game. Where do we start with it? Because
I don't know. It's emotional, isn't it? And it's my overwhelming feeling is sadness right now. Right. Yeah, I do feel. Although
you wanted him out.
Well, if you go back to the previous podcast, you'll hear the way I said it. I said if we don't beat Brentford, so I'm surprised that the club have pulled the trigger anyway. Yeah, I felt it was the right time for Daniel to move on, but I'm sad because of all that he achieved, and I'm sad because it's the end of an era. And Chris Gorham summarised this really well on our BBC Radio Norfolk appearance this morning at time of filming Monday, and Chris said it's very rare for a manager to go out with as much love and respect as Daniel Farke, and rightly so, by the way. And it almost feels like you've lost a favourite player.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I kind of feel like that. So I am sad, Jack. But how are you feeling about it?
Well, I think I guess the surprise isn't really around the sacking, it's more around the timing, isn't it? And I think there was a lot of emotion going on Saturday, particularly for those that were at Brentford, because we saw the partisan kind of scenes afterwards. And it must have been really strange for those who travelled to London to witness Norwich City win and then be travelling back or in the pub or whatever they were doing afterwards, and then see Farke's sacked. I mean, it came as a shock for me. We'd, I'd done the video buzzing about the win, and then heard a few murmurings from some of our contacts on WhatsApp to say, I think Farke's about to be sacked. And I was like, surely not.
No, I didn't believe it. I didn't
surely not. And then you see kind of tweets from sources that you're like, do I believe them?
Yeah.
And then once the news finally broke at about 7:30, it was a sense of, I'm glad that he went out on a win.
Yeah.
That feels nice.
Yeah, agreed.
And it felt nice that the final memory for him will have been giving the Farke wave in front of the away fans. That there was a nice irony about that. And I'm excited about the future for Norwich City. As Farke said in his statement, which I thought was lovely, that you can find over on The Athletic and Michael Bailey's socials, he said and Daniel said himself, 4.5 years is a very long while in football management, and it is. And like you say, Chris, I was speaking to a friend about when was the last time a manager left and he was still like really well regarded. You're probably looking at maybe like Wenger, although it went a little bit sour there. Sir Alex maybe at United.
Yeah, it might have to be.
And I think there should be more of that. I think there should be more managers going out while it's still good. And granted, it had gone downhill slightly, and that was my worry that Farke's reputation was being damaged. I think he got out at the right time. I think Webber pulled the plug at the right time. And now it gives us time to reevaluate, adapt.
Because although the timing is I guess one side of the argument is it seems quite harsh, I also do see the other side of it as, well, it's done over the course of an international week, which is good.
Yeah.
In terms of getting the man in, getting his team in, getting them up to speed on what we need to achieve as soon as possible, fast, ahead of the Southampton game. But I think I don't know, mate. I am sad, but I do agree with your point. It is the right time, and I now believe. I'll be honest and hold my hands up, and people will disagree with this. I lost the belief in the fact that this football club could survive under Daniel Farke going into the Brentford game. I lost my belief
After Leeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leeds was a crushing blow for me.
And clearly the club thought the same.
Yeah, but now, because of the timing, because it's been done before these key fixtures, I actually do think that we could possibly do the greatest great escape from the Premier League. And people will call me deluded and all of this, but I genuinely think that a new manager with fresh ideas, energy, leadership could get a lot out of these players. These players have been written off by a lot of people, and I think those people are wrong. And I've always stood by these players being able to survive. I know that some individual players have underperformed, but I think that's a consequence of chopping and changing the lineup, getting spanked week after week by the biggest clubs, and not having time to get up to speed because of those changes. I think we've got the right mix in our squad, Jack, of experience, of raw up-and-coming talent in Christos Zolis, etc. Someone that's very well regarded in European football in Milo Rashica, who, by the way, had a blinder against Brentford, which we'll get onto in a minute. We've still got Timu Pukki that can finish if he gets chances. Yeah, we saw that breakthrough. Matthias Norman. I believe in these players.
Okay.
And so, yes, I'm upset that this era is over under Farke, but all good things come to an end. And any organisation, regardless of it being in football or not, after 4 years, you should be looking to change your position, not just selfishly for yourself to get promoted, but also the organisation should be looking to move you so you develop new skills and you don't become complacent.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's what's happened with Daniel Farke.
It's amazing, isn't it? You look back, time kind of flies, and so much football has occurred since Daniel's been at the club that you forget the position that Norwich were in when he took over. I was looking back, and like that 17 side, we were in a really sticky patch, and we'd finish.
Millwall away. Remember that 4-0 loss under Daniel Farke. Marcel Franke at the back.
Yeah, James Husband.
Russ got booed off the pitch.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It was bleak, wasn't it?
James Husband. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bleak. But as I've said,
but even the previous season to that under Alex Neil and Alan Irvine, when Webber came in, and then we had Alan Irvine, and I think that, aside from the players, we lacked identity.
Yeah.
We lacked purpose.
Yeah.
Colney was a mess. It was a hidden pitch with some caravans.
Yeah.
And now where you look at the club it feels like we are something. We have an identity.
Yes.
And I think that's, largely down to Daniel Farke's work.
Absolutely. And of course, Stuart Webber will get a lot of praise for bringing in the players that he's brought in. But, for example, James Maddison under Daniel Farke.
Yeah.
Emi Buendia was his main man.
The development of James Maddison under Farke essentially saved the football club.
Well, that's what I have tweeted and said. I'm not just grateful for all of the for the 2 trophies for the Farke ball that we've watched. I'm thankful for the assets he's helped to develop.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the youngsters that he's given a chance to. So, again, to reiterate, so grateful for everything that Daniel Farke has done for our football club, on and off the pitch, effectively. But it felt like the right time. Yeah. And again, it will annoy people by me saying this, but I've had conversations with people that are in what I would call the Norwich City circle, existing Norwich City circle, and they have said to me, it's the right time, 1,000% the right time. He'd lost his way with identity, and these are people inside the club, not me. So I think we're all in agreement. A lot will be aggrieved that he's gone, but I think people will come round to the idea that actually we needed a fresh pair of eyes on this.
4.5 years. What was the favourite Daniel Farke memory?
There are so many, if you think back to it, Jack.
It was never boring, was it?
No. I mean, that 18-19 season
Balmy.
it was wild, wasn't
Balmy.
it? I mean, I just remember that Nottingham Forest game.
Hernandez, yeah.
3-0 down, come back to 3-3.
Yeah.
Anel Hernandez, me taking my shirt off just sheer... I just couldn't believe what I was witnessing.
Millwall, remember that one?
Millwall. Oh, so many... And there were so many incredible performances. Leeds, that's your...
Villa away.
Villa away.
Do you remember
but no, stop. My favourite Daniel Farke game, which actually will surprise a lot of people, but is my favourite game of all time.
Wow.
So I've always said Ipswich 5-1 away was glorious, and
Yeah.
that felt so goddamn good. Wembley, winning at Wembley, of course, epic. I've seen my team win at Wembley. But for me, that Manchester City home game in the Premier League, that dismal Premier League season,
Yeah.
but still we had that duel.
Yeah.
And I will always remember Daniel Farke because of that, because it was that David versus Goliath situation, all of those injuries, and the way that the team performed that day. I've never, ever seen anything like that in my life. And that is probably my favourite Daniel Farke memory.
Well, how nice that we get to, and there were low points in that time, but we get to look back and there were so many brilliant moments to choose from. So many cult heroes created from the most unlikely of characters in Mario Vrancic and Marco Stiepermann and players like that who'd been brought in by this clever recruitment and didn't have great starts, but just come together, and they were what carried us through the bleak times of the COVID lockdowns. And you just look back and you do forget certain parts. And you're like, wow,
the wink, Farke's wink.
It's a shame that Chris Domangala and Christopher John will all go as well, because we liked Chris Domangala.
We liked him, but we were really scared. Yeah, we had to like him because he was really scary. And we always joked he had the cathedral on his arm, didn't we? I always remember Daniel Farke's first interview, and the doves are crying, the sun is shining, and I'm feeling willy, willy great. And there was all these little phrases that obviously at the end, it became a little bit annoying because the results weren't going well. But at the start, that was all part of the character that we fell in love with.
And we needed that.
And honestly, I wish Daniel well, and he won't have any issues finding another job.
No.
He will have no issues. And by the way, he'll be financially secure as well.
Yes.
With the payoff.
What was it reported? 7 figures, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That 4-year contract does look slightly strange now, doesn't it?
And I think, and I've seen a lot of comments, and maybe we'll talk about. I don't want to talk about the shit we've received too much in this podcast, but some of the shit that we received recently has been the fact that in our last podcast, Jack, in the comments section, people were saying that Stuart Webber's got away scot-free, that we haven't criticised him, that he's actually to blame and not Daniel Farke. Some people actually think that. Where do you stand on that? Because a lot of people are saying, why on earth did Stuart give him a 4-year contract?
Well, I think I don't think Daniel had been dealt the best hand in terms of recruitment. I think maybe not so much this season, because it has seemed strange that he hasn't played the players that, arguably we paid a lot of money for.
Yeah.
But certainly in that first Premier League campaign, he was dealt a fairly tough hand to deal with. The 4-year contract does look slightly strange, although at the time, I think everyone was happy because we'd secured a manager who'd been touted about. And realistically, I mean, whether it's between £1 and £2 million to pay off Daniel, it's not really that much cash in the grand scheme of things for Norwich City.
I think it is, mate. That's a big dent.
Well, it's the same amount of money that we sacrificed to get rid of BK8. So if they're willing to sack off that, then I mean, it is a lot of money. But I don't think the contract was a massive mistake, and I think we've made the right call in calling it early, because often Norwich have been too naive when it's come to sacking managers and cozied up a bit too much. I don't think we've done that this time.
Yeah.
In terms of the Brentford game, we won.
What a win.
Good win, eh?
Oh, bloody hell. I was in a state of shock.
Yeah.
Absolute state of shock. I could not believe it.
It's,
and I mean that
2-0
respectfully.
Was it half an hour?
Yeah, exactly. The fact that we'd scored 2 goals, Jack. Of course, there was some very suspicious defending for their goal.
Well, it was funny listening to Chris Gorham, because he sounded in a state of shock as well. He'd been so used to just calling opposition goals. When we finally scored, he sounded baffled.
Yeah, and it's because we got back to what we do. That was what we were, and that
just makes you think, Chris.
What the hell were we doing
against Leeds? I know.
What were we
doing?
I don't know.
Because it's obvious we're capable of putting together a performance.
But I don't even just think about Leeds, Jack. I think about Everton with their injury depleted side. I think about Burnley away, extremely low on confidence, and we could have and should have beaten them. Leicester at home. All of these games that we should have won by just sticking to what we knew Daniel could do.
But it's fine margins, isn't it? Because Leicester could have quite easily got a point. Against Brentford, Krul makes 2 absolute wonder saves. A VAR decision goes our way.
But
a penalty call that
possibly... The lineups, but the lineups, the starting 11s, mate, stunk on multiple occasions. And that... I think that's lost Daniel Farke.
Well, I think Farke having his hand forced with the 2 centre-back injuries almost helped him, because it meant he couldn't go with 3 centre-backs.
But going back to that Brentford game, I'm really pleased, actually. There's actually one reason I'm pleased, which might surprise people. So really interested to hear in the comment section what you think about this. And I am biased.
Are you going to offend the club?
No, I'm not.
Blimey.
I'm so pleased for Ben Gibson, the Rock.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm so pleased for Ben. Given the captaincy.
Yes.
For a reason, by the way. Big leader behind the scenes. I'm buzzing for Ben because he's got some really unfair stick.
It's because I was slagging off Big Ben the other week. He must have taken it personally.
By the way, just to clarify, Ben, if you are watching, which you are, Jack meant Big Ben is in Big Ben,
Did I?
Not you.
Maybe I gave him the ammunition he needed.
I'm buzzing for Ben Gibson because he's been given some real shit, and it was a real captain's performance from him. And I'm also really pleased for Milo Rashica.
He was excellent.
Who's been written off by many. And when you even if you just watch the highlights, you can see what Milo does. Twists, turns, acceleration, puts people on the deck. I was buzzing to see that, and I'm excited to see what a new manager can get out of a really confident Milo Rashica as well, for sure. And I think that's what impressed me the most out of that performance, Jack. I know that the defending for Brentford's goal was poor, but ultimately we got the job done. As soon as we went 2 up, I couldn't see Brentford with their injury depleted side, with Ivan Toney not scoring a lot of goals coming back from that. And I'm pleased that we put them in their place as well, may I say, because I've received a lot of banter, if you want to call it that, from Brentford fans, thinking that they're all this big time club. So I'm pleased that we put them back in their place a little bit.
Daniel Farke's record against Brentford over his 4 years was phenomenal. Really good. I think what was I going to say?
Something about Brentford?
I thought the performance was actually similar to when we played Leicester at home. I didn't think the performance was amazing. It was good. I think the first half an hour was great. I'm almost not worried about that. We just needed a win.
Of course.
However you find it, we needed it.
Yeah.
I thought under big pressure, Pukki's penalty was excellent and essentially won us the game. And the man that scored the first goal is quickly... And I don't want to get too attached because I know it could end in heartbreak, but I am quickly falling in love with Matthias Norman.
I'm in love. I'm attached. And I say this every time.
Have you not learned anything?
No.
Don't fall in love with loan players.
I know, but I can't help falling in love with him. The man... And do you know what I love about... And you, I bet you know what I'm about to say. What do I love the most about Matthias Norman?
The passion.
Mate... He is, you know me, I love passion. Just any sort of passion, and I'm just all over them. That's it. They could play badly, but if they show passion and fight, I'm buying a ticket.
You love the fist pumps.
Mate. And by the way, if you look on the Norwich City Twitter feed and look at the fan video, and at the end, Matthias Norman giving it the big one to the Norwich fan, God, that gets me going.
Yeah.
God, that gets me going. Mate, it really gets me going. Matthias Norman, okay, I didn't think, and this is controversial opinion, but I'm going to call it, I think Stuart Webber has managed to replace Oliver Skipp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do. And by the way, look how Oliver Skipp's performing now for Tottenham.
Well, I think Tottenham in general.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Tottenham are shite. But my point is, Matthias Norman, different gravy. Aggressive, passionate, literally bursting with passion, stylish, tattoos up the arms, scary.
Yeah.
If you're an opposition player and you're looking at Matthias Norman in the tunnel, you are shitting yourself. Absolutely shitting yourself. And that's what I want to see. And that is what I want to see. And I love how much the players... It's very evident that the players are almost in awe of Matthias Norman as well, aren't they?
I've never seen a man have so much... scare me so much whilst exuding raw sex appeal like Matthias Norman.
And there you go. Welcome to the TNC podcast.
I mean, the ladies and people who like men in general must love him.
I can't believe you just said that. Do you know what I noticed, right? When he scored his goal, look at his celebration, right? The players...
I can't remember.
The players are scared to touch him.
Oh, yeah. Like, give me some space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I want on this Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm all about that. On a serious note, Matthias Norman, he's not afraid to have a shot. Pinpoint accuracy. Great What's funny about that? I just love passion. You know me, mate. Honestly. But that's what I want to see. I've been wanting that all bloody season. And Matthias Norman gives me that.
I didn't realise until I watched back the Match of the Day analysis. By the way, watched Match of the Day for the first time this season. I've almost forgotten what Gary Lineker looked like. Matthias Norman doesn't run. He glides.
Yeah.
It's almost like his legs don't move. He just he's like a swan.
Yeah.
But an aggressive swan.
Yeah.
You know, swans are like... Matthias Norman is a swan.
Yeah.
You don't... Yeah. You respect swans and you don't go near swans, but they're classy individuals, aren't they?
Mate, I don't know what was in your tea, but I want some of it. And I also want some of what Brandon Williams had for breakfast against Brentford.
We know what he had.
What do you have?
Bran flakes. Brandon flakes.
Oh, God. That's such a dad joke, innit? I love it. On a serious note, just one more minute on Matthias Norman.
He's got passion. He's got passion.
Yeah, that's why Brandon Williams.
He's like a little Jack Russell.
I still feel sorry for Giannoulis, but Brandon Williams always have a soft spot for him because that passion.
Every five-a-side team has a Brandon Williams. You go up against, just piss off.
Yeah.
Just stop going for my ankles.
Yeah.
We get it. You love football.
Yeah,
just
good.
back off.
Good.
I'm here for runabout.
Good.
I hate them players. But you want them on your team.
I've gone from feeling really sad, genuinely sad.
It doesn't take much.
I'm all of a sudden now, I'm going through these players and thinking, I'm fired up talking about them because you know what they can do on their day.
4:45 on Saturday, I've got my phone out.
Right.
I've punched my boss's numbers into my phone, and I've gone, "Hello, mate. Yeah, you well? Yeah. Just to let you know, I need 3 weeks off in May. Europa League qualification. Is that okay? Yeah. I'm heading to Kazakhstan. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Book the bus.
I mean, book the boat.
Book everything.
We are not going there again. We're not going.
It was good. We won a game.
Yeah, it was amazing, mate. I'm absolutely chuffed to pieces. Twitter questions?
Oh, God, I'd love to.
Let's go.
67 questions.
Ooh.
I think about 66 of them are, who do you want as next manager?
Yeah,
we will get onto it.
We will. We're going to go through every candidate. Well, not everyone, because we've literally been... Well, I don't think there's been a single manager that's not been mentioned.
No.
And as I tweeted today, Zinedine Zidane was seen in Morrison's car park.
Charlie,
Charlie
Soanes.
Charlie Soanes. Yep, solid.
That
performance.
Wink versus Ipswich equals statue material.
Yeah, would be up for it. A little brass something of Daniel Farke winking.
Right.
God, that could have gone really wrong really quickly.
Charlie Miller.
Yeah. The Charlies are out tonight, aren't they?
Cannot wait to see Poeta score a 90th minute winner against Southampton. Stuff of dreams.
Mate, could you imagine if this next gaffer turns PP into an absolute machine?
I wouldn't put it past him, whoever it is.
If the new gaffer turns PP into a machine, that's going to be good news because so far it's not looking good. So yes, please to that. Chris
Bird.
Chris Bird.
Oh God, he's a high fly. He's a general genotyping lead at Ragty Seeds.
I wondered what you were going to say there. Oh, LinkedIn profile picture worthy there, 100%. Looks like the kind of guy that eats out at a steak restaurant every week, without a doubt. And fair play. Chris
and orders all the sides.
What's he saying? Go on. No, do you know what he's on? The old surf and turf. He stinks of a surf and turf.
Fillet steak with lobster.
Yeah, classic.
My favourite memory of Daniel Farke has to be away at Forest in 2018. Came from a goal down and played some proper Farke ball. Tim Close.
Yes.
2 goals. That was the day I realised that something good was brewing. Or maybe it was just the pre-match beers. I remember
Lakers,
that.
of course.
I was at that game.
Yeah.
My memory, Chris Burt and Chris Reeve.
Yeah.
The sun was so low. I had the worst headache because I was like this the whole game.
Isn't it amazing how you always remember the weather?
Yeah.
On a match day.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget when I went to Stamford Bridge in... Oh, God, I can't even remember when it was now.
Zola scored.
Oh, no.
Not that far
God,
back.
I am old.
Did you go with me?
And I was there. No, it was so bloody freezing. I almost died of hypothermia. It was so cold. But it's amazing, isn't it, how you remember the weather in games.
That was a good day, and there were so many of them away days where you walked away, whether it was in Bolton or Leeds or Forest, and you felt like you owned the country. You walked out with your premium lager chest pumped.
Apart from at Sheffield United, because you were scared that you were going to get the shit kicked out of you. Not just you,
we
Norwich
did also
fans in
lose.
General.
Yeah.
Next.
Wilder. Oh, he's gone to Borough. That stinks of carnage, by the way.
Yeah. Wilder and Onel Hernandez.
I don't even want to think. Don't even want to think.
Good luck, Onel. Love you, mate.
So many people tweeting in their favourite memory, which is great.
Yeah, good.
Jameson.
Yeah.
My favourite memory was when he benched Oliveira after that celebration, saying it's the crest on the front and not the name on the back. That got me big time. I know he had personal issues over the years with various players, but he really did care about the club.
Yeah,
I like that from James, and that got me big time. Iconic celebration, to be fair. Whatever you make, class.
Yeah. No. I am pleased that I'm pleased that he put Oliveira in his place. He had to do it, but it was a crying shame because Nelson Oliveira was a big talent. Not our opinion, Russell Martin's opinion, as said on the TalkNorwichCity podcast. So, yeah, I agree. A moment that was needed. But actually, maybe that's why it was so good. Like, it was such a waste of a talent, but at the same time, it was so important for Daniel Farke to do that because he was this unproven, and let's face it, maybe underqualified manager at that time.
Yeah.
So he had to do that.
Yeah.
A moment.
Angus Gibson. I like this from Angus. He's just chucking a little grenade in there and seeing what happens.
Cousin or brother of Ben?
He actually plays for St Johnstone. He's a footballer at St Johnstone.
Hello.
Yeah.
Someone's doing well. Go on, Angus.
Which players benefit from Daniel Farke being sacked? And which players may now struggle for minutes? Who are the winners and the losers?
Do you know what? That's a really good question. Okay.
Two of each.
Okay, so winners straight away, easy. Billy Gilmore, Todd Cantwell.
Okay.
Todd Cantwell starts playing football again now, and we start playing well.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about.
And you think Gilmore comes back in?
Mate, why on earth wouldn't you play Billy Gilmore? It baffled me.
Well, I think the argument would be that when he has played, he hasn't really shone that bright.
Billy Gilmore starts playing football. He's got to. I mean, mate, you can't waste that sort of talent when you've got him on loan at Norwich City. You can't.
Some people will say, well, it was Daniel and Thomas Tuchel's relationship that brought him here. May he go back in January?
Well, unless we have Frank Lampard, which we'll go on to in a minute. Losers. Hang on, no, we shouldn't call them losers. Let's not be offensive. What should we call that? People that might
huge
unfortunately miss out because of Daniel Farke. Lucas Roop, number 1.
Well, he hasn't been playing anyway.
Well, there you go.
I think there'll be... Well, it all depends on the formation, I think. I don't think anyone in that side will necessarily be dropped straight away. I think if the formation changes, Sargent might struggle to get minutes. He could also... maybe Sargent...
No, I think the new gaffer will definitely play the talent that's been brought in.
Right.
I can see that happening.
So if you think Gilmore's coming back in, I think Kenny McLean might struggle for minutes.
That's really interesting. And let us know in the comments who you think.
It all depends on the formation,
Who will
doesn't it?
benefit and who will not benefit from Daniel Farke's departure and the new manager coming in. Let us know. Because quite frankly, we haven't got a blooming clue from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next, go on. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many people tweeting in their favourite memory. Should I go through a few?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Or should we talk about who we want as the next manager? Okay, here's one from Oakley Rivers.
Rivers,
here's
by
some
the way.
positivity for you lads.
What a man.
Last 5 games in form, we're 13th in the table.
Hello. Europa League doesn't look so far away.
Villa are bottom of the table.
Aston Villa are in a sorry state, by the way, and I am very surprised. And I'll get myself in trouble here because it's already being quote tweeted a lot. But that's just how I felt at the time. I genuinely believed at the start of the season that Aston Villa had assembled a side that could actually challenge for a European place.
Well, they might still do.
One of the best goalkeepers in the... No,
They might do.
No, God, it's gone now. But
Farke's going to go there and turn Buendia into the star we
could
know
you
he is.
imagine? Could you imagine?
Possible.
That's a hell of a story, by the way.
Yeah.
That'll never
I love the
happen.
tweet that said, Emi Buendia moving club has got 2 managers sacked.
Yeah, it's
and it
true,
was
isn't
so true.
Sorry, some credit you on that. Did we answer that question?
What was the question again?
I'm not sure we answered
Oh, no,
that
it was the
question.
fact that we're 13th in the form table.
Yeah, happy days. Love a bit of that.
See,
See, but I actually feel a bit confident. I actually think we could drag some teams into it now. Brentford, loads of injuries. Now 4 games without a win.
Yeah.
Leeds, it's looking unconvincing at the moment.
Newcastle.
Aston Villa dropping like a
fly.
Newcastle.
Trouble on the horizon for the Saudis.
By the way, football is so fickle. We are so fickle.
Watford losing games.
Mate, I could.
Liverpool losing games. I'm thinking, hang on, Europa or Champions League.
But mate, look at these fixtures that we've got coming up now.
Yeah.
That new manager bounce, momentum, and then we go into a big game. Bosh, landmark win.
Yeah.
We're well in the room.
Oh wait, we're now 7th.
No. Oh God. Let's not go there. Go on.
George Edwards.
Name of the week. That is such a solid name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see the profile picture, please.
You're gonna like that as well.
Oh, here he is.
Georgie boy.
He's the kind of guy that's... Oh, yeah. He's the kind of guy that I respect. One that is one with nature. He's clearly at the beach there.
Yeah.
A Norfolk coastline, I sincerely
I don't know.
hope.
It looks a bit hilly for Norfolk.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It looks like the back of a sand dune to me. Anyway, he looks like a top boy.
Yeah.
George Edwards, what's he going for?
How many Norwegians does it take for the greatest of escapes?
Sounds like the start of a really bad joke.
Knutson at the helm, Matthias Norman captain, Alex Tete, bring him back.
Could happen. The dreams are
I love Norwegians, and I want them running the football club. Have you ever met an unsuccessful Norwegian? Because I haven't.
No, mate, I don't disagree, yeah. They seem like really solid individuals.
Yeah. Like the Finns.
Let's
and
see
the
what
Swedes.
happens.
Benjamin.
Yep.
Would love to see fans of the season, Chris and Jack Reeve, given a go, at least till the end of the season. What would be your ideas to achieve a successful season?
Yeah, well, and so did you see...
So we're going at, what were the Cowley brothers? We're the Cowley brothers.
Yeah, I think so.
Who does what?
Well, I feel... I mean, I'm the passion merchant. Let's be frank. You're the kind of guy that get... You're in the suit.
Okay.
I think I'm the Chrissy Domagala here, and you're the Daniel
you've got the
Farke.
biceps. You need a few tattoos, but we can work on that.
I could just see you being quite composed, in a suit, controlling things, thinking about tactics, and I'm just going hell for leather in the changing room.
Nice.
I'm getting people up by the scruff of the neck.
Oh, wow.
I'm kicking over the trolley at half time. I'm really firing them up.
Okay.
A tracksuit, 100% tracksuit wearing.
Really?
Just playing Nessun Dorma before the start of every game. Zombie Nation at full time when we win. Mate, you laugh. I think that could get those boys going.
And Farke had his wave. What would be your fan kind of to get them going?
Definitely about just a big badge pant. You know what I mean? A huge badge pant. And by the way, it wouldn't be the Barclay. Straight to the snake pit.
Wow.
I'd be up to the snake pit and I'd given it the full on pant.
And then up to the river end.
No,
away fans. Give them some as well.
Oh, I'd give some. Oh, of course I'd give them some.
Like Chrissy Wilde did.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I loved about him.
Yeah.
Celebrated with his fans, then gave the home fans some.
I reckon I could motivate those players. And I'm well up for it. I mean, maybe put us in the odds.
What about if Matthias Norman comes up to you and goes, Gaff, I don't know what you're doing here? What's your response then? Because he scares you.
I'm saying, Matthias, I agree. Oh, dear, you got to laugh. There was a picture we put up on the TalkNorwichCity social media account, if you've not seen it already, of me and Jack on the touchline with Delia and Michael. Go and check it out. I reckon we might be odds on.
Yeah, I've had a tenner on us. Okay, let's talk about the upcoming manager.
By the way, we reek of League One managers. We reek. I couldn't.
That's generous.
Nah, yeah, well, at best.
Yeah.
At absolute best. Next.
Okay, this is a good one. What is your joint lineup and formation if these three were co-managers? Neil Warnock, Big Sam, Chris Hughton. In triple charge.
All 11 on the goal line. All 11 on the goal line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Easy answer. That is like a really bad dream, that, isn't it, by the way?
There was
really bad dream.
The first call on to Canary Call was let's get Big Sam.
I do wonder whether we're going to try and we might change tact and go for something short term and shit out.
Yeah, I was wondering about
just to stay in the Premier League, or maybe someone that's got Premier League experience, just to almost.
So who are your options then? Steve Bruce,
Lampard, Chelsea manager, of course.
That doesn't feel kind of short term though, because he's not like a.
He'd give you the new manager bounce though.
Yeah, but you get that with anyone.
And he loves giving it to the fans as well. And I love that.
When you say short term, I'm thinking like a Bruce or a Hodgson.
Let's go through. So we'll go back to the Twitter question.
Okay.
But let's go through some of the candidates, Jack. I have got them up on my phone. Although I must say that there have been at least 55 named already. I guess we should start with the most talked about and arguably the favourite, which is Knutsen.
Okay. I thought you were going to go elsewhere, but
how are you feeling about that?
Well, before about 3 weeks ago, I'd never heard of him, and then I actually watched. That shows how bored I was. Their game against Roma in the Europa League.
Well,
it was half, and it was 6-1. And I looked at them and thought, wow,
they gave them a seeing to.
Yeah, they did. I think it was Mourinho's biggest ever defeat in Europe.
They bent Roma over, and they gave it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I looked at them and thought, hello, bit hipster.
Yeah, that's so us.
Oh, and I thought
I
might load them up on Football Manager 2022 and see if I can do a job.
And what I like about Knutsen as well, he doesn't look stylish, and I like that.
He's tracksuit, I think.
Yeah, good. About time. Yeah, I want tracksuit.
So he's done brilliant work in Norway. The worry for him would be no Premier League experience, massive step up. He just feels like a Weber appointment to me.
Yeah, I think he's the most predictable, isn't he? And I'm not opposed to it, by the way.
Well, for Weber it is.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore he's the most predictable. Let's go to Frank Lampard. Yes. So
this is a really interesting one.
You're not a fan of Frank Lampard, but I think...
Well, I'm not a fan of what he's done so far.
Okay, well, I know there was the whole Frank Lampard derby thing, right? But I think he learnt a lot there, and he developed some really good players for them. He really did give them a good opportunity. I know he fell at the final hurdle. He then... You've got to be of a decent calibre to be just given the Chelsea job. Like, come on. Like, you can't just walk into even as a legend.
No.
Because they are the real deal, Chelsea.
But I think it is also apparent how far behind he is of Thomas Tuchel. Like, Tuchel's taken them to another level.
Oh, yes, sorry. I thought you were going Thomas Frank now. I'm all over the show. Sorry, the brain's not.
No, but what...
It's the lack of Lakens.
What I would say about Lampard is, if he comes in, I'd be happy.
Mate.
It just feels a bit obvious.
Let me sell it to you.
Okay, go on then.
Okay.
Go on then.
And by the way, I'm not... I actually don't have a blooming clue, but I'm selling it to myself.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Really good with young players.
Yeah.
Which Daniel Farke was.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't lose that element of the philosophy that Farke has helped to develop.
Yeah.
That's important, and that's part of the Norwich City model moving forwards, to give youngsters an opportunity to develop them and create assets to sell to bigger clubs, so we've got a chance, because in football these days the gap's ridiculous. Frank Lampard's very intelligent. He holds himself very well.
Yeah.
He's not going to be making any press conference gaffes. He's really honest. Really honest. I wouldn't be opposed to Frank Lampard. I know people are anti. Let us know in the comments what you're feeling about Frank Lampard.
I think the main selling point of Frank Lampard is his contacts book will be exceptional.
That's the other thing. He's got Lamps has got pull. I don't.
And from an off the pitch sense, Lampard puts Norwich City on a worldwide map.
None of these players have got None of these managers mentioned here have got the player pull like Frank Lampard. None of them.
Well, I think you look at Mark Robbins and Russell Martin, too early for both of them, I'd say.
I would agree
Lucien
with
Favre seems out of touch. I don't know who Enrico...
Do you think? I think he might be I
don't think that's happening.
I've got a funny... I think that might be an outside shout, mate. Really under the radar, rumbling away. No one's denying it.
He's quite old, though. I think he's like touching 70, nearing 70.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe we need a bit of that.
Steve Bruce?
Brucey, former club player, of course.
You're getting passion out of Brucey.
You are getting passion, but he's tired. Bruce is tired. No, but I mean this respectfully. If Bruce became the Norwich manager before Newcastle, if that makes sense, I'll have a bit of that with my slice of toast in the morning, but I just think he's knackered.
Right.
The man needs a break. He's been absolutely... The treatment of Bruce at Newcastle, he needs a break. I wouldn't bring Steve Bruce in. I think Hodgson would reek.
I thought Hodgson had retired.
I think Hodgson reeks of very, very short term.
Yeah, okay. And that might not be the worst thing.
But a man with...
I think it's between Knutson and Lampard.
Yeah, I do too. And, by the way, this is... And people will... Sorry, I need to keep telling this to myself. People will criticise me anyway. I have been told that Lampard... This is genuine now, by the way. This isn't a Morrison's car park job. I have been told that Frank Lampard was spotted at Royal Norwich Golf Club.
Well, maybe he just went around the golf course.
So that's Sunday, because obviously we're recording on a Monday. Anyway, so those are the candidates.
Here's another one.
Go on.
That isn't on that list. Dean Smith's up for grabs.
I just... Okay, Dean Smith. Passion. Yes. Got that.
Done a brilliant job in the Championship.
Does he need a break after being sacked by his club? Like, it is his club.
Okay.
And I like Dean Smith. I think I'd be happy with it. I'm not sure it's the right thing, and I also think it's very mainstream media outlet led. And I might be wrong here. I wouldn't be opposed to it if it happened. I just can't see it.
Well, here's the other one. Sky Sports reporting Ralph Hasenhüttl.
That's madness.
Yeah, that does.
With the amount of money that Southampton have got, he'll be on a great contract.
Well, it's nice for him to want to progress and try and go to a bigger club.
I saw your tweet about that, you naughty boy. That's
the problem is there's no Southampton fans to nibble.
But by the way...
I've never met a Southampton fan.
We struggled to get a fan on for the opposition preview.
There's two clubs, one in the Championship and one in the Premier League, that it's impossible to find an opposition fan. Bournemouth, Southampton, don't exist.
Very challenging.
Don't exist.
Go on, keep going on those Twitter questions anyway. But anyway, on a serious note, do let us know in the comment section who you think will be manager.
Gut feeling, as we record at 6:45 on Monday, Knutson or Lampard?
What is in what I think the club will do, or what I want?
Club,
Knutson, want Lampard. I'm
going the other way round.
I'm falling for the passion.
I'm going the other way around.
But before people twist this up, if Knutson comes in, I'm feeling it, and I'm all in, and I'm going to back the new gaffer to the hill as well.
I like the thought of a Norwegian identity, like we had with the Germans. The Germans are gone. He'd
get them all like jumping in training, wouldn't he? Like a Norwegian salmon. Like right lads, time for the salmon. Yeah. No, by the way, maybe Kenny McLean would then start getting into the. Maybe he would stay in the team.
Because he jumps like a salmon.
Yeah, he leaps like a salmon. We've seen that against Man City at home once. Next, go on.
Zach. There's always a man like Zach that just wants to plan ahead.
Big
Far
Zach.
too organised.
Let's see Zach.
Zachary Quintin Lewis.
Name of the week. 100% name of the week.
Quintin Lewis.
Quintin Lewis. What a boy. God. And by the way, we're not taking the mickey. That is a solid name. Do you know what? That absolutely reeks of investment banker.
Yes.
He's going to be an investment banker.
Oh, who's your lawyer? Oh, it's Zachary Quintin Lewis.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Definitely.
Who do you do your private pension with? Zachary Quintin Lewis.
It's the kind of name where if you see it on the bottom of a letter, you're worried that you've got the letter.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, big Zach.
Jack and Chris. What do you think Norwich City's plan should be in the January transfer window?
By the way, that all of a sudden...
Let's just get a manager first, Zach.
No. All of a sudden, that gets interesting.
Does it?
Yeah. It goes from we ain't got a hope in hell of signing anyone because we're playing like shite and we keep getting players chopping and changed and we've got players out of favour and I'll finish there.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden, Norwich have got a bit of momentum by then.
What, one win? Oh, by then?
By then.
Right, okay.
Come on, don't twist me up.
How many wins by January?
I don't know.
6?
I don't know. I've not had a Lakens to tell you a number. But I'm up for the January transfer window, I think we could do
We need a striker.
Well, they wanted a striker in the summer window and they didn't get it. And apparently that's why we ended up getting Josh. That's not disrespectful. That's just, again, what I've been told by my contact who's in touch with the agents. Next.
So just, you didn't really answer
that.
I
don't know. I'm sorry. January transfer window, who do I want?
Yeah.
I do.
A striker and I think that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe a centre back.
I think
got quite a few already.
I genuinely, I believe in this group of players.
Get Knutson in, give him 25 million, and get a 25 million pound striker.
Do you know what I want? I want us to just.
Haaland's Norwegian.
Oh, God's sake.
Yeah, bit of interest there.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what I do want us to do in the January transfer window? Get Norman's existing contract, and tear it up and say, have your money. What do you want? Name your price. Give them whatever they want, and just say, Norman, you're ours forever.
Right.
And get that permanent feeling about him now. Don't wait until the summer.
James.
Go on.
Norwegian fjords or North Sea?
Definitely the fjords, especially if you're looking out from Great Yarmouth onto the North Sea. What a shit pit. Fjords are stunning, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. Maybe we'll have a partnership there, like Tampa time. Maybe the Norwegian fjords. And that's something that I can get behind, actually.
Tampa time, what could it be? It could be Stavanger,
Mate,
Oslo.
I don't think you're going to get there here.
Oslo or osmosis.
Okay.
Jules asks, hi Jack, why are you not keen on Lampard? I'm just not convinced with his time at Derby.
Yeah.
I wasn't. He had Wilson and Mount, and
could this be the club that gives him that chance?
Derby and Chelsea could quite easily have been his grounding,
his warming
his
up,
learnings.
Yeah.
We've used Derby and we've gone just take care of our boy Frank, and we'll have him in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Frank Lampard's Norwich City.
Do you know what? I could
stick that in your soccer butt and smoke it.
There it is, the quote. Fucking no context TNC all over that, by the way. Do you know what do you know what I'm picturing with Lampard? I just cannot get it out of my head. Lampard
just can't get you out of my head. Frank Lampard's taking us to the Europa League.
Lampard going up to the Barclay after the game, he doesn't do the way. He goes for the he goes for the under punch,
but not one of these Luke Chambers ones.
The under punch, and he is going all in.
Yeah, and he follows through on a fan. but the fan takes it.
Yeah, like they get fired up
Yeah.
by it. Like they get punched and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, and then he hits him back.
Yeah, and that fires him up
Yeah.
more. And then he starts a chant.
Yeah.
He starts an on the ball City.
With blood dripping onto his Norwich City crest.
I just love Lampard's passion for the game.
We're going to end it there.
Yeah, we probably should because we're about to get ourselves in trouble.
Probably by the time we release this,
There's going to be
going to be a
and
manager.
then we're a complete laughing stock again. Okay, if we're ending it here, Jack,
It feels good to smile.
Yeah, I have gone from a place of sadness, and now I've done this podcast. I'm actually feeling overwhelmingly excited about our future.
All it takes is a scrappy win against relegation threatened Brentford for us to feel giddy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to end on a serious note, Jack. And a lot of people have seen, the unfair criticism that we had on social media, because obviously we're the only Norwich City outlet, if you will, that said very clearly that we thought Daniel Farke's time should be up. We got a lot of stick from people that definitely wanted Farke to stay. I really want to emphasise the fact that I understand that emotions were high. I also understand why people felt like that, given that we'd been very solid with our opinion.
Yeah, I think some people thought we were coming across slightly.
But I did it from
blunt.
I said it from a place of I don't want this to get toxic. I said it so many times, and I know I don't need to defend myself, but I said it so many times. I don't want this to become worthy out. I don't want, I want to give ourselves a chance. He's achieved so much. I'm so grateful for everything. I've done it 1,000,001 times, but I don't want to give attention maybe to the people that gave us hate, Jack. I actually just want to say thank you so much to everyone that's watching now and everyone for their support. After I had a chat with you, didn't I? And I was like, Jack, this is how I'm feeling. I want to put something out on Twitter. And you're like, oh, I don't know, Chris. And I'm just like, but I want to be honest with people so they know how it feels to run a fan channel, because sometimes it can be pretty dark. But the only reason why I got up off the canvas this weekend was you guys.
Yeah, there's an outpouring of love, wasn't there?
Exactly. And like so many DMs and stuff. And yeah, I just want to say that the support is appreciated. And I know that there's lots of people that watch this that don't tweet us. And sometimes it's easy to look at the hate, but I know that the support is stronger.
And I think equally, a lot of the, disagreement with us came from a place probably of just love for Daniel, and they were frustrated that they felt we were kind of disregarding the good he'd done. We weren't.
Yes,
it's
correct.
It's difficult to convey.
But we're never going to sit on the fence.
No.
People, you need to know this. We're never going to sit on the fence. As we've said in the last podcast, we ain't going to be getting a Christmas card from the club this season, but it would be disingenuous for us to just sit on the fence, score Twitter tap-ins and just pretend everything's hunky-dory, because it wasn't hunky-dory.
No, but it is now.
But thank you for your support. That's the point of that speech. Thank you for your support, because I know a lot of people watch it and they don't say anything. They just enjoy the content. Yeah. And I'm, I really do mean that it was very touching, so thank you.
Looking forward to Southampton coming up.
Buzzing
There'll
for
be
it.
Loads of content. We'll have a new manager in charge.
Really interesting matchday experience coming up, by the way, against Southampton. Something a bit different again.
Yeah. Who knows what it is. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you all again very soon.
On the Ball City.
Bye-bye.